Inside this video topic, we'll discuss a very important concept of React applications, and that is React Router DOM. So React Router DOM is a package, but we can't consider it as only a package because it controls overall the application routes of React. So inside this single video topic, we'll discuss the complete concept of React Router DOM. That is how to create basic routes or how to handle the concept of basic routes. Then we'll discuss about dynamic route segments in case if we pass some dynamic value to route, how to control, how to create those values inside our components. Then after, we'll discuss the concept of nested routes. Then after, we'll discuss about the concept of private and protected routes, and finally, we'll see the concept of 404 not found application routes. So before understanding about all these interesting concepts of React Router DOM, obviously we need a React setup. So we have two options to install a React application or React setup, that is by using command of create React app, or simply we can go and run our wait command. So inside this video topic, we'll see that first how to install a React setup or how to create a React setup using wait. So simple, let's go back to terminal. And one more thing, if you think that this video is really very helpful to you to make understanding about React Router DOM, so please do like to this interesting video. Please subscribe to this channel. And now let's get started to deep journey of this React Router DOM. Now to start with React Setup installation. So right now I'm inside this folder called react.js-apps. Now inside this folder I want to create a React Setup. So it's simple, npm then a space, then create space wait@latest. Hit enter. Now it will ask some questions. So first is the project name. So what I will give simply, let's say React Router routes. This is our project name. Hit enter. Now it is asking about framework. So obviously we have to use called React. So here we have the third option, and I am selecting by pressing down arrow. Hit enter, and then after it is asking about variant. So inside this video topic, I will keep it as very simple. So I will choose JavaScript. So third option, hit enter, and now we can see project setup now created. Now inside that project setup, we want to install our npm packages or node dependencies. So here, according to these commands, first we have to go into this project setup. So cd React Router routes, and then after inside this folder we have to run this command called npm install. So inside this folder, let's type npm install, hit enter. Now in a moment it will install our node dependencies, and then after we have to run the command called npm run dev. So just wait for a while, and as we can see, it has installed or added 152 packages. Now inside this application setup, if we want to execute into browser or if we want to start the development server, so simply npm run dev, hit enter, and now we can see our application is started at localhost 5173. So simply I am pressing Ctrl into my keyboard, click into this link, and now we can see successfully now we have installed our React application using wait. Now after installation, let's start first to think about that how to configure the basic routes inside this React setup. So first thing first, let's open this application folder or the folder structure of this code setup into any of the editor. So I will choose VS Code. So let's go back to terminal, and here first I will stop this development server, and then after I will type a command called code dot, which basically opens this project setup code into VS Code. Hit enter, and now we can see successfully that code setup. Now here we have opened into VS Code. So if I go to this src folder, now inside this src folder, here we have a file called main.jsx, which is rendering our app component, and this app component is coming that is from app.jsx, and here we have inside this same folder called src. So let's go and open this file called app.jsx, and then after for the time being what the things we are seeing into this browser is coming from this app.jsx. So let's go and remove this, all these static HTML, and here let's remove also this use state. I will remove all these things, and inside this app component, let's go and type h2 tag welcome to React Router DOM tutorials or its tutorial. So if I save these changes, let's go back to terminal. Again, I have to type code npm run dev. It started. So if I go, and now we can see here we are getting the message that is welcome to React Router DOM tutorial. Now also we can see that it is taking some CSS or some design here. So if I go, that design or that CSS part is coming from this main.jsx and from it is index.css file. So simply just go and remove this index.css. Let's save. And now we can see welcome to React Router DOM. So here, first we have to configure our basic routes inside this video topic, inside this video tutorial. So first thing first, we have to install the package called React Router DOM. And as I told that React Router DOM is not only a package, instead it controls application routes of a React application. So first thing first, we have to install this package into a React application. Let's go back to VS Code. So to install React Autodome, so first if I go and confirm inside this package.json, so right now we can see that inside this dependencies we have two dependency only, that is React and React-DOM. So to install one more package, let's open our terminal. So I will go into this view. Let's open integrated terminal of VS Code, and here is the option. So instead, I will press Ctrl J. Now we can see after pressing Ctrl J, now here we have the option of terminal of this VS Code. So to install React Router DOM, let's go and type this command npm I then React Router DOM. So once we type this command, so either we can type I or it will be something called install. So this is shorthand npm I and React Router DOM. So once we install, automatically this package will be added to this dependencies object. And now we can see here we have added, and it has added four different packages to this React application. Let's go and close this terminal. Now then after, let's close this package.json. So then after I will go and close all these files. Let's go inside this src folder, and here let's create our folder called components. And inside this components folder, actually to interact with all the concept like basic routes, nested routes, dynamic segments, private and protected routes, 404 node founds. So for all these concepts, we want to understand by using some components. So here inside these components, let's create our some component files. So first I'll create home.jsx. Now inside this, let's create some skeleton of this component file. So function home, and then after return React fragment, and here within this h2 tag, let's say welcome to home component, and then after here let's export default, and it will be home. So let's copy all this code, save this file, and then after I will go to this components folder again. Let's create products.jsx, and then after let's paste here, this is our second component called products. Here let's say welcome to products component, save this file, let's close. Go here again, create one more component, let's say contact.jsx. Let's paste here, it will be contact and contact. And finally we want one more component, so let's copy this code skeleton, and here I'll create a file called services.jsx, and here let's call services. Let's copy, paste here, and paste here. So successfully, here we have four different components. Now, if I call any of the component, for example, to test, let's go inside this app.jsx. instead of this static message, first I will import that component. So let's import our home component for the time being. This home component is coming from this components folder. This is like the current directory, that is src. Inside src here we have components and we are calling our home component. And then after simply let's home. Now save this file. So if I go and now we can see welcome to home component. So here we have like all these components. Now let's create some basic routes by means of some buttons. Whenever if I click on home button, it will give message of home component. If I click on services, it gives the message of services component and so on. So what I will do, let's close first all these files. Let's open only app.jsx. And before this app.jsx, let's open main.jsx. And inside this file, I will import first browser router. And this browser router, remember, is coming from React Router DOM. So that's why we have installed. Let's copy. And either we can bind something like this, like all these code strict mode app and strict mode, and just paste here. So either we can create this React application inside this strict mode or simply also we can remove that. Let's remove and let's remove. Now here, now this app component is inside this browser router, which is going to manage our application routes. And inside this app component right now we can see home component. So let's remove this home component. Instead, I want some buttons. So here, let's import, or first thing first, let's create some button. So to create button, I will use link tag, like link component. So here, link component, and this component is also coming from this React Router DOM. So here, the first link will be home. Let's copy 4 times, and here, let's say products. Then after, let's call services. And finally here, let's say contact us. Now then after, if I go, so we can see here we have some home, product, services and contact us. But like some CSS part is missing. So what we can do, just go inside these assets. Let's create a file called style.css. And here, let's create quickly a button. So here, let's say background color equals to blue, color equals to white. I want border radius, let's say 5 pixel. Then margin right, it means the gap between these buttons. So margin right, let's say 5 pixel. And let's say text decoration, because by default it will come in underlines. So text decoration, let's say none. So if I save all these changes, let's copy this class. And before copying, first we have to import. So let's say import here, and that css is coming from assets folder. And here we have style.css. And then after, just copy this class mybtn, and here let's add class name and pass this mybtn. So if I save these changes, and now we can see here we have home. Let's go and add some padding here. Padding part is missing, and let's say 7 pixel, and it's good. So if I go, let's copy this last name, add here, and add here. And now we can see here we have home, product, services, and contact us. So we want whenever if any user click on this home button, home component should be rendered. So let's go here. So inside this link component, I will add one more attribute, and this attribute something called to. Now this is the path. So simply if I click home, so it will be on the landing page. Now for this products, I want that routes will be something called / call products. Let's go and for services. So it will be / services. So if you are wondering that why I'm writing all these things into curly braces, so also you can remove that. There is no need of curly braces. So let's go. and remove that. Let's keep it as services for these curly braces. And here, let's say contact us. Now, if I save these changes, now if I go, let's reload. So if I hover, now you can see here at the footer, the link is coming, or let's inspect. And now we can see here we have href attribute that is for the landing page, for products, for services, for contact us. So if we want to click on products, as we can see, nothing is rendering. So we have to bind our component with this application route. So what to do? So for this, let's go and import here. Import routes. It will come from React Router DOM. And let's import route. Save these changes. Now here first, I will go and use our routes component and then after to create route or the rendering part. So here inside this route component, let's go or simply let's remove this. So whenever if we have the path of this landing page, so in that case, I want to render inside this element that is of home component. So here simply I will go and call this home component. So it simply means that whenever let's add backward slash now here. So whenever if I click on this home or the home URL automatically after getting this landing page path, it will open this element that is of home component. Also let's import home, and it's not coming as I can see, and why it is not coming. Export default home, everything is good. If I go, let's say home from, and this is coming from current folder components and home. Now if I save these changes, let's go and do the things for products. So products component, if I go to check the component name, so products here, so this is product, so URL will be called / products. Now if I go, let's copy, and here let's copy this component and component. So if I save these changes, let's test for this landing page and for products component. So as we can see, route is / products. So automatically our product component now rendered. If I click on home, now you can see welcome to home component because this local host or only the site URL is the landing page. And here we have the products component. Let's repeat for the services and contact us. It's very simple to you now. Let's copy, put two more times. It will be services. And if the path is contact-us, so we have to call our contact. If I go, let's copy this contact. And if I paste, also we have to import. So let's copy contact and contact. I don't know actually why it is not automatically importing all these components whenever I'm using it. So not an issue, simply this is for services. So here, let's services. If I copy and here, let's copy and paste services and services. So if I save these changes, let's click on this contact us. Welcome to contact component. Welcome to, and I think that for this services, we are calling product component. And okay, actually here we have two routes. So let's copy. So services, and now we can see for the services path, here we have the services component, products component, and home component. So successfully, now this is the first part of this video topic where we had seen the concept that how to configure the basic routes inside React application using React Router DOM. Let's summarize one more time. So as simple as that, to create the links, we have used the link component, and this link component is coming from this React Router DOM. To set up the path or the calling components, we have used the components of routes and route which is again coming from this React router DOM. And one more thing, all these things will work like link component, routes and route component. All these things will work whenever if we bind inside browser router. So let's go and try one more time. If I remove this browser router, if I save these changes, and now we can see we are not getting anything. Instead, we are getting some error. So it means that all these things will work if we have the things inside browser router. Now let's see the second part of this video topic, and that is how to pass the dynamic segments into URL and how to get the value inside of the component file. Now to start with the concept of dynamic segments, what I will do, let's go first into this products component. So first I'll create some array of product. So inside this product component, simply let's say const products equals to, and inside this array let's create our first object of first product, so where product id equals to 1, and let's say title, let's say product 1. I will copy this object, let's paste 5 times, and here product number 2, 3, 4 and 5. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So what basically we are achieving inside this second part of this video. So inside this second part, I mean to say that let's go back to browser. So for the time being, as we can see that inside this route, here we have localhost forward slash products. So dynamic segments means that whenever if I pass, let's say after products, there will be called product ID like 2, 3, 4 and so on. So how to get the dynamic value inside that specific component in real time. Let's say that we have a WooCommerce store, and inside that store we have a products page where we are listing all the products. So whenever if I click on, let's say first product, automatically it will pass the product id into URL, and after getting that id into a single component like file, obviously we fetch the single product data from API call on the basis of that product ID. So inside the second part of this video, we are trying to understand that how to pass the ID into URL and how to get that ID into a component file. Let's go back to VS Code. So here, let's say that these are the number of products. So first thing first, we have to display all these products into a component file. So here, what I will do, I'll use the concept of map function. So curly brace, then after products dot map, and here I will iterate, I will loop through about for each object of these products, that is first object, second object. So here we have to loop through for each product, and each product will be inside the index value. So here inside this arrow function, what I will do, I'll show each product by using link component. So here inside this link component, I'll display first the product title, and whenever if any user click on product title, I will pass this product ID into URL. So here to display the product title into this link component, so curly pairs or curly braces, and here product, because we are iterating over each object, so product is the object, so product dot title, and we want that id product id into URL. So here inside this two, remember the two attribute, and inside this two let's pass, and I will create one more route, and that is called single product forward slash, and then we have to pass the product ID. So here we have to pass the dynamic value. So instead of using double quotes, I'll use the backtick symbol. So you will see backtick symbol just before the numeric key 1. So backtick symbol, and here I'll use dollar curly pairs, and here it will be product dot id. Now if I save these changes, so if I go and now we can see here we are seeing the product 1, product 2, so on up to product 5. And one more thing, also we are seeing an error inside this console that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. So to solve that issue, what we have to do, just go here inside this link component, add a key prop and just pass this index what we have taken here. Save these changes. Now if I go, let's reload. Error has gone and all the products are here. Let's do some CSS. So what I will do, if I hover inside each of the anchor tag and let's pass background. For the time being, I will use orange, color equals to white, and let's say padding equals to 20 pixel. And here let's say text decoration, and it will be, let's say, margin equals to 10 pixel. And here let's say border radius and 10 pixel. Now it seems good. So what I will do, I will copy this whole CSS. So to copy, right click, just here right click, copy rule, and just go here inside it style.css. So let's say my product, and inside here I will paste all these CSS. Let's remove this element.style and paste here. Now save these changes. This file already imported inside this app.jsx, and inside this app.jsx, here we are calling our product component. So it will work. So what I will do, just I will go here inside this link component. Let's add a class and it will be called my product. Save these changes. And now we can see here we have product 1, product 2, product 3, and so on up to product 5. Now, if I go and inspect each of the product, let's reload. And now we can see into this href attribute, if you see, so here we have single product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the dynamic IDs of each product object. So let's click on this first product. As we can see, single product 1. Let's go products, single product 2. But we can see that nothing is rendering, and it is because this path is not handled inside our application. So how to handle? It's very simple. Let's go inside this app.jsx, and here inside this routes, this is our handler, and here let's copy. So I will pass if we get the path call single product and then after product ID. So let's pass a dynamic placeholder to get that ID value. So colon and ID. So as we know that this will be a numeric value what we are passing into URL. So I will tell that let's say this is an ID. You will say something called product ID. So what to do after passing this ID? Let's go and also we have to create one more component. So I will create, let's say, single product dot jsx, and here let's say function single product return within h2 tag, let's say single product component, and then after let's say export default, and it will be single product. If I save these changes, just go here. Let's first import. So import single product. Now we can see the import is also working. It's awesome. So let's copy this single product component and pasting it here. Now if I save these changes, so if I go, so we can see that we are inside this path with dynamic ID. So it is opening single product component. Let's go to products, click on product number 2, single product with ID 2 and product 3. But instead of displaying this static message each time for each product, I want that it will be something called product ID, like product with ID 3 and with name, and that name will come from here. So for the time being, just focus on the ID value, that how to get the dynamic ID from URL to this component. So let's go here. It's very simple. I'll go to the single product, and here to get the dynamic ID value, we'll use a hook called useParams. So it will be const, and here let's say params, or I will say let's say dynamic params equals to use params. And again, after using this hook, useParams, we can see that it is also coming from this React router DOM. So if I go and copy and here let's say console.log, and if I pass here, save these changes. So go to console, so product number 3, as we can see ID number 3 inside this console. If I click on this product number 4, we can see ID number 4. So here ID is nothing, it's a placeholder what basically we have passed into this app.jsx. If I say let's say product ID, if I save, so automatically after getting this ID, now we can see product ID equals to 4. So here, if we don't know that how many parameters we are getting into URL, so it's simple. Just go and type dynamic params so that it's an object, but the parameters you will get into this component file. But for the time being, as you know that only I am getting a ID value. So here let's destructure, or if I pass, let's say dynamic params.id, not ID, it will be product ID. So into console, we can see 4 here. Now, if I pass or if I use the concept of destructure, so product ID, and if I go and remove, let's destructure simply means that we are getting each property of that object. So inside this object, we can see we have a single property called product ID. So this is our product ID. So let's reload. And if I click on products, so product number 5, we can see here, let's say product number 2. And also what I will do, let's say single product with ID, and here inside this curly pairs, let's say product ID. So it will be single product with ID 2, then after it will be product 1, and here product number 3. So successfully, this is our second part of this video topic where we have seen that how to pass the dynamic value to URL and how to get the dynamic value of that URL into a component file. Now let's get started our third part, and that is how to create our nested routes. Now to start with this third concept of this video topic, and that is how to configure nested routes inside React application. But first thing first, before going to learn this concept, also we have idea or also we have to understand that what is a nested route. Let's understand first. Let's open a new tab. So, for example, let's say that I am a freelancer and I will provide multiple services into my development journey. So, here, as we know that this React application, like at localhost, it is running at localhost and the port is 5173. And already we have a services page, and that is main services page. So as I told that in freelance career, let's say that I will provide the services of mobile app development as well as let's say web development and SEO development. So I want a website. Into that website, I will have a services page which is the main services page, and into that page I have some card based layout, and into that layout I have those services like what basically I am trying to provide. So here I will provide like mobile app services. I will provide, let's say, web application services, and I will provide, let's say, SEO services. So it means that I want these three pages into the main services. Like inside this main services page, I will have like three types of portfolios. The first portfolio will go to this mobile app services. Second portfolio will go to this web application and SEO services. So here, if I talk about this mobile app services, the URL will be something called localhost 5173, then services, and it will be let's say mobile app, or if I add let's say mobile app services. So this is the landing page for this service type. Then after for this web application services, it will be localhost 5173 services, and it will be web app services. And for SEO services, it will be same called localhost 5173. It will be services, and here it will be SEO services. So here, these are the concept of nested routes. It means these are also the routes, but these are nested inside these services. Now, this concept we want to achieve, we want to complete into this third concept of this video. So what to do? As we know that already we have a services component. So I want three more components, that is for three services like mobile app, web application, and SEO service. So let's go into this components folder. I'll create a folder called services, and here into this folder let's create a component, and I will say, let's say mobile app.jsx, and here let's say function mobile app, and here let's say return. For the time being I will use a static message, let's say welcome to mobile app services, and finally let's say export default mobile app. If I save these changes, let's create our second component for second service, and it will be webapp.jsx. I will copy this complete code skeleton. Let's paste here, and this will be, let's say, web app. It will be web app, and just export default. And finally, for SEO service, let's create our third service file, and here SEO service.jsx. Paste here. So it will be SEO service. I will copy, paste here, and here it will be SEO services. So here we have three services of our main service called services. So now after creating these services, let's go and open our main component of services, and here let's create some portfolio, and those portfolio links will be for these services like mobile app, web application, and SEO services. So here what I will do, first let's say welcome to services, and then after I'll say within S3 tag, let's say portfolios, and here I'll use the concept of link component to create some link. So simply link here, and automatically whenever if we use this will be imported from this React router DOM. Now into this link component, let's create our first portfolio, and that is for mobile app services. And here the path will be not path 2 will be, and here it will be called forward slash services after mobile app services. So this is our first portfolio, this is our first service, what basically we are trying to provide from this services landing page. Now let's copy and paste two more times. This is for web app services, and this is for SEO, and here web app services, and this is SEO. So finally here we have three part into the services component. So if I say, let's go back to our landing page. So if I go to the services, we can see welcome to services portfolios. So here we have mobile app services, web app services, and SEO services. Let's quickly fix some CSS. So if I go to this anchor tab, let's say padding 20 pixel, here let's say background will be red, color equals to white, text decoration let's say none, font weight let's say bold, and border radius, not border, I will pass border radius equals to 10 pixel, and also each service we want into a separate line, so it will be block. So what I will do, and also if I go and let's provide a max width equals to 100 pixel, not 100, it will be I think 200. It's okay. So I will copy this complete rule. So copy rule, then I will go here to our style.css, and here let's say my services. Just go and copy all these properties, remove this element style and paste here. Copy this class name, go to services component and here let's quickly add the classes. So if I copy, go into this second link component, paste here and into this third link component. So if I save these changes, back to browser, and now we can see here we have mobile app services, web app services, and SEO services. And one more thing, let's go and put some margin top. It's okay, so I will copy this margin and here let's paste here, save these changes, and now we can see, let's go and open this inspect, something like this to our right sidebar. So here we have services, portfolio, mobile app services, web app services, and SEO services. Now if I see anchor link or the href attribute, so we can see here services, mobile app services, then after services, web app services. So if I click on any of these link, we can see right now we are not getting anything. So to fix this issue, we have to use the concept of nested routes for this React application. Let's go back to VS Code. So here we have our three portfolios, and as you know, these portfolios belongs to services. So let's go inside this app.jsx, because inside this app.jsx we have configured all about these application routes. Now here we can see a route called services. Now as we know, this time it is not alone, because for these services also we have three portfolios. So instead of creating a single route of these services, instead we have to create a route group. So what to do? For the time being, I will go and add comment to this line, and then after here, let's say route, and we are creating a route group. So path will be services / services, and it will call the services component. Now here, the first portfolio link will be called mobile app services. So let's copy, go here, and inside this route, let's create one more route, and here the path will be called mobile app services. So here, now this path is something called / services / mobile app services. So whenever if this path will be open, it will call a component, will be inside element, and it will be called mobile app. It is not importing again. So here, if I go and let's say mobile app from components / services / mobile app. Let's go and import our two more components. This is web app. This will be web app, and this will be called SEO service. Now, if I go here, so this will be called mobile app. Let's copy two more times, and here also we have to close this component. Now, the second portfolio will be for web app services. Let's copy web app services, and this is SEO services, and here it will be web app, and this will be SEO service. So instead of creating a single route of services landing page, now this time we have created a group of routes called / services / mobile app / web app / SEO services. So once we open this services like / services / mobile app services, it will call mobile app component. But here, if I save these changes, let's see an issue. So we can see that right now we are inside a route called services / mobile app services. But here, as we can see inside this layout, we don't have any message called mobile app component, because if we go and open this mobile app component, we can see that welcome to mobile app services. So we are not able to see this message right here inside this screen. So why it is happening? And it's because this is the concept of route group. This is a concept of nested routes. So we have to load the component of inner components by using a concept of outlet. Let's go and see. So here, all these component of all these routes like mobile app, web app and SEO service is taking the help of this parent component called services. So just go here and inside this parent component or inside this main landing page of services, we have to use the concept of outlet, and this outlet is also a part of this React router DOM. So once we use, now we can see automatically imported. So if I save these changes, and now we can see for this mobile app services, here we have mobile app services. Click on SEO services, and here we have web app services. Now let's say that if you are wondering that I want a separate landing page for this services, I want a separate landing for this services page like main landing page, and I want separate page designs for all these components. Right now, if we click on any of these services, for example, mobile app services, we can see that the same design of our services component along with the component of mobile app services. If we click off web app services, we can see that again we have the same design, same structure of our services component along with the component of web app. So somewhere we are repeating the things to include our main component, that is services component, and along with the contents or the component of child component. So instead what we want that whenever if I click on this services, which will be our main landing page of services, it has a separate design, and into that design these buttons will get appear. And whenever if I click on that button of that main landing page, instead of getting these content into the mobile app services, we want only these contents. So what to do? Let's go to VS Code. It's very simple. Now inside this app.jsx, inside this route group, we have to create one more route, and here let's add route, and I will pass index attribute, and here element. So I want that whenever if someone clicks on services menu, so for that main landing page I want to render this element. So simply cut and put here. Now this is the main landing page of services. Now then after, if I click on this mobile app, web app or services, we have to render the things into the outlet. So what we can do, just go into services, remove this outlet, and here remove this outlet from here, save these changes, and if I go, let's add element, we have to create one more component, and here into this services, let's create load services, and here let's quickly set up this component. So it will be, let's say, load services, and here let's return fragment export default, and it will be load services. Here we have some spelling mistake. It will be export, and into this return statement then I will use the concept of outlet. This outlet will come from this React router DOM. So here, this is the main landing page like services. Whenever if I click on this mobile app, web app and SEO service, it will find the element part of this path, and it will be our load services. And this is the component what basically we have created. So if I save these changes, let's go back to browser, and if I click on services, now we can see welcome to services. Here we have the portfolios. Click on mobile app services. Here we have mobile app services. Previously, we are getting also the content of services component. Now this time, services component design is separate into services component. But whenever if I click on the inner child or the inner routes, like the inner routes, these routes are getting the help of this load services to load the component of these components to this outlet. So successfully, this is our third concept of this video where we understood the concept that how to use the concept of nested routes. Now for this fourth concept of this video topic, we'll understand the concept that how to create or set up private or protected routes into a React application. This is also a super easy concept. So what I will do, let's say that into our application, we have some routes, let's say login, which will open our login component. Also, we have, let's say, dashboard, which opens, let's say, dashboard components. And one more thing, this dashboard route, this dashboard component will be rendered if and only if the user will be logged in. If user is not logged in, so in that case, he will see or the user will be able to see the login layout or the website landing page. It means that this dashboard or this dashboard component is a protected route. So this concept we have to achieve inside this fourth concept of this video topic. So what to do? First I will go to this app.jsx and here let's create route by using this link component and it will be for the login. And here let's add class called mybtn and it will open, let's say, login. This is okay for this component. We don't want any user login, but if we want to open our dashboard route, dashboard component, so in that case, user logged in is necessary. So what to do? So to handle this route, or first, let's create our component. So I will go to this components folder and here, let's say login.jsx. So function login and here return within h2 tag welcome to login page, export default and login. Let's quickly create our dashboard component as well. So it will be dashboard dot not js, it will be dashboard dot jsx and here it will be dashboard. So let's copy paste and copy paste. Save these changes. Now this component is okay. It can be opened like whenever the user is not logged in. But we want to access only this message or this component if and only if the user is logged in. So how to protect? If I go to this app.jsx, first this is our login route. So to handle, let's create. So the path will be if we have a login, so it will open the login component and let's copy and paste here dashboard and if I open, let's say dashboard, save these changes. So if I go, now we can see here we have the login button. If I click, we can see login page. But if I go into URL, if I type this dashboard, we can see welcome to dashboard page. Now, if you are thinking that why I am able to open this dashboard page, so let me tell you that right now, this dashboard page is a open route. It means no need of user login. Either user can be login or user can't be login. This route is an open route like a normal route which we can access, which we can open to this website. Now let's implement the concept that whenever if the user is login or let's say that if we have some token value into our local storage, so after getting that token value, then this dashboard page will be accessible. If no token will be available into local storage, then in that case, we are not able to open this dashboard component. So what to do? I'll go here. So we have to protect this dashboard. So let's go and create one more component. Inside this component, I will create and I will say, let's say private route.jsx and here, let's say function private route export default and it will be private route. Save these changes. Let's copy, go inside this app.jsx and here, first I will import, let's say import private route successfully imported. Let's copy, go here to this dashboard because we have to protect. So while opening this dashboard, we have to restrict. So let's cut, and inside this element first I'll open this private route and just pass dashboard into it. But one more thing, this implementation is not yet completed. What missing? As we can see that right now this dashboard component we are passing as a children component to this private route. So what to do? Just go to private route and let's receive as a prop like children. And here inside this private route function also we have to add the logic to check the token value into local storage. If the token or the value is available inside local storage, then only we can access this dashboard component. So what to do? Let's say const, let's auth token equals to local storage get item, and here let's auth token. Just assume that we have some key into a local storage with the key called auth token, and into that key we have some value. So if we have the value, so here let's return auth token. If we have the value, then only this children component will be rendered. So let's copy paste here. Otherwise, if no token is available, then in that case we have to go and open our login component. So here I have to use call navigate. Now again we can see that this navigate is coming from this React Router DOM, and into this navigate it will be called to, and here we have to open our login layout. So simply concept is very simple. If we are trying to open this dashboard, now this is a protected by a component called private route, and into this private route first we are checking our auth token. If auth token is available, then we are rendering the component what basically we have passed here. Otherwise, if no token is available, we are rendering our login layout. Now the implementation also completed. Just save all these changes, go here. Now if I open dashboard, and in that case, if we see, let's check that inside our application, inside local storage. And as we can see that right now, actually, before creating this video, also I have tested. So here, auth token is already available. Let's go and delete. So now deleted. If I reload, and now we can see instead of getting our dashboard message or the dashboard component, automatically it has redirected or navigated to this login layout. So again, if I type, let's say dashboard, hit enter, now we can see instead of opening our dashboard, it is opening this login path. But once a moment, if I go and save, let's say local storage dot set item, already I have used set item auth token. This is the key what we are checking here, that is auth token, and inside this key right now we are storing the value as 1. Hit enter. If I go to application, go inside local storage, this is our site UI, and now we can see the value. Now if I open this dashboard, and now we can see that if auth token is available, then we can access this dashboard page. Otherwise, if we delete, let's reload, and we are not able to open that dashboard. So successfully, now this is the implementation of fourth concept of this video topic, and that is how to set up, how to create private or protected route. And finally, let's move on to our last topic of this video, and that is how to set up 404 or not found page of those routes which does not exist into an application configuration. For example, as we know that as per this app.jsx, we have the route as landing page, products, services, contact us, login. Then after also we have some like the nested routes called services, mobile app services, web app services, SEO services, and also we have one more protected route called dashboard. But inside this list, we can see that we don't have any route called profile. But if I go into a URL and if I type, let's say profile, and as we can see that app.jsx is rendering, and we are able to see this all the menus. So instead, what we want that whenever if user types in any route into an application which does not exist, also we have to display a message that is 404. This route does not exist into an application. So how to configure? It's super easy to configure. Let's go back to VS Code. So here we have all these defined routes and their handlers. Now at last, what I will do, let's use route. And here, if path will be, let's say add star asterisk, it means if these path exist, then it's okay. It will open their respective components. Otherwise, if path belongs to any other, so in that case, let's say element. And for the time being, if I go to use h2 element, let's say 404 not found page. Now save these changes, all done. It's very simple. If I go and now we can see that whenever if I'm opening this profile and now we can see 404 not found page. So right now we have implemented only putting a static message, but if you want some design, obviously by putting some HTML and CSS, you can create your own like 404 or not found page. So what to do? Simply we have to create a new component and here let's say 404.jsx and here or instead of 404 let's say not found. And here, let's say function not found, let's say return, and within, let's say h2 tag, let's pass inline style and color equals to red. And here, let's say page does not exist. So here, export default and it will be not found. If I save these changes, let's copy, go inside this app.jsx. First, I will import, let's say not found, imported. I will copy and in place of h2, just use that component. Now, if I save these changes, let's go here and now we can see for profile, page does not exist. Click on products, it's working, home, it's working, services, it's working, contact us, also working, login, working. And if I type dashboard, then it also working, but rewriting is happening because we don't have any value into this local storage. But apart from that, let's say login hyphen 2 which does not exist. Now we can see page does not exist. So successfully, overall inside this video course, now we have completed all about the topics of React Router DOM, where we have covered all these topics like how to configure, how to set up the basic routes. Then also we have seen the concept that how to get the dynamic segments like the dynamic value from URL, how to create nested routes in terms of portfolios, how to set up our private and protected routes, and finally we have completed all about this not found error page. So successfully, the concept or this video is now completed. So I hope that this video has given lots of idea, lots of new things to you to understand the React Router DOM of React application. So for this interesting video, please hit the like button to like this very amazing video. Subscribe to this channel for my motivation so that I'll create again a new amazing video for you. And now let's meet into a next video topic. So for this video session, guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.